Welcome everybody to another live reaction, live stream. Why am I saying live reaction? It should be a live stream discussion. In today's live stream, we'll be talking about DC gaming. But before we do, let me pick up my co-host, as always, Jared from Comics League, the super wonder fan himself.
Let's talk about how DC screwed up again.
Well, we'll be talking about that and a lot more. But let's bring on a second guest. A guest at this time. That is Darkness Under the Rain. Welcome.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Doing
Hey,
well.
not much, man. Not much, man. Just another day, another life in DC gaming. There's been a lot of rumors and a lot of rumors going around. So I thought, why not make a stream about it? Considering DC currently right now is in a situation where they need to have wins.
Yeah, I get it, especially with what's going on with the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. They definitely need to find a way to get out of the shithole. So I mean, hopefully they can get out.
Yeah.
They also have to release that freaking Wonder Woman game, or release something about that game.
I agree. Yeah, there's literally been nothing about that game ever since it was announced. Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah. Because it needs to be said, right? That Wonder Woman game, where is it? The last time we've heard about information about it was 2021. Now we're in 2024. The only thing we've had was the leak, which, by the way, guys, synopsis was out there. And furthermore, yeah, didn't you realize a few months back there was a concept art and all of that leaked out? WB themselves did it.
Oh wow, I actually did not know that. Holy crap.
Yeah, WB.
Dang.
Even Jared knows this. Am I right?
Yeah, we
Jared?
covered it because it was they leaked out some concept art, and then they leaked that stuff. It was basically a lot of stuff about what the game's going to be like, maybe some of the plot and how the Nemesis system is going to factor in there. But the problem with it is then they took it down almost immediately. So everyone's like, okay, we know that you leaked it. We understand that.
Yeah, they leaked it. And basically, the fact that anyone that showed the image, their videos got taken down immediately.
Ooh.
People that I know their videos got taken down just for showing the image of what the synopsis was and the concept art.
Oh, dang.
But it turned out to be true because the fact is it's coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and X.
Yeah.
So we do know that's a fact. And we know what the price is. Pika says they need to give us some gameplay footage of that Wonder Woman game to get people proper wanting to play it. I'll be honest with you, Pika. We're probably going to get something at the Video Game Awards for that. That's why I think.
You'll see. I'll believe at this point. I'm at I'll believe it when I'm actually watching the trailer.
The reason why I say that is because 2025 is going to be a big year for DC as a whole.
Yeah, especially because you got oh my god, let's see. You got James Gunn's Superman film, which truly begins the DCU. Then you got Peacemaker season 2. Oh my god, I think that's it when it comes to the movie and TV side of things of DC. Literally just specifically DCU stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
Then in terms of video games, DC tends to have one video game per year. This year was Suicide Squad.
Oh god, and we all know how that turned out. R.I.P. Rocksteady. Hope you guys get better and recover. And oh boy,
we will be talking about Rocksteady in a bit, but
yes.
And then before that, obviously, was Gotham Knights in 2022, which was by WB Games Montreal, which also is going through some changes as well. So we'll be discussing that as well.
Yeah.
The announcement that hype has come and gone by now. It needs to be relit with something new. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
This is why, that's why I think that the Game Awards is going to be the perfect spot for the Wonder Woman game, and considering James Gunn knows that the Game Awards is a big event, without a shadow of a
it's a
doubt,
very big event for gaming.
it's a very big event for gaming. I can see it being announced there, right?
Yeah, I can maybe, but I mean at the same time though, maybe if they may decide like, you know what, we just want to get this off immediately, and maybe they're gonna do it at CCXP Brazil. Well, depending on when the Game Awards does take place.
CCXP. The problem with CCXP, even though it's a Brazilian Comic Con, it's not big of an audience to tackle.
Okay.
That's the problem. James,
Okay.
even though James Gunn will will be a CCXP, right? But in terms of an audience, you need to have that audience that will be engaging with it. For example, the Mortal Kombat stuff, right? Yes, it was at CCXP, but it took people were looking for that stuff, fishing basically for trying to see if there's trailer was put out because they weren't showing it online.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's like it's that type of thing, and I think CCXP is not the right place to do that for the Wonder Woman game. I think in terms of where the Wonder Woman game should be, it should be at the Game Awards. Give a release window. I think summer of 2025 is a reasonable release window.
Yeah, that's a good point. But also, don't forget that James Gunn did say himself that gaming is going to play a huge factor in the DCU itself. So I mean,
and then he later changed his mind on that, and then went back on that. So I don't know what's going on with DC.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, if DC actually does really go full in depth when it comes to like having gaming being connected to the DCU when it comes to television and gaming, that's going to be something that I'm very interested to see how they're going to do and what kind of games they're going to be making. Like, are they going to be making a freaking like Booster Gold game? Which that would be kind of dope.
That'd be actually kind of, see, here's the thing. They're not going to greenlight games for characters that no one would show up for. See, here's the thing. No one knows who Booster Gold even is.
Right.
Yeah. So, but what I can tell you is I've spoken to my source about a few things. So I can tell you that Monolith is definitely working on Wonder Woman, and they've got another project in development at Monolith Productions. So Zeke says, luckily Fortnite is a Disney game now. Luckily I have all the DC skins. Yeah, it's a Disney IP now, so there's nothing I can't get the Superman.
They'll make a Fortnite world any minute now.
But
you'll see kids flossing all over the place.
But I do know one thing: Rocksteady is indeed working on Batman, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard from maybe two different people. One person is saying it's a Bruce Wayne Batman game, and another person saying we don't know whether it's going to be set in the future. My source is actually a reputable source. He has got like a good track record, I should say. So he's actually said to me privately, was like, yeah, you know what I've been told is possible that there potentially could be a sequel to Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm like, okay, but
that's a gamble right there.
Oh yeah, that's a risk.
That is a risk. Master Chardent, welcome back, of course, says, dudes, if it's not as fun as the Batman Rocksteady games, not good enough. That's simple. To keep looking at less to be better.
True, I do agree with you on that one. That is true.
Yeah. Pika says, imagine crunching games to have them come out in time to play with other projects and have
that is why I don't believe that they're actually going to like plug in gaming that well, because here's the thing. Gaming takes significantly longer than movies to make, and it's very much not a guarantee that like if they want to make a game that'll come out alongside Superman. I know they can, but I'm just using that as an example. They're not going to be able to line that up.
Mm-hmm. So Zeke's asking a question. Is it true that WB did a deal with that WB licensing characters would be only appear in WB games and multiverses? Now, here's the answer to that. WB are licensing out their IPs. It means it means that it won't be also in-house, but other studios can do it, like Ben Studio, Sony Santa Monica, Insomniac as an example. Those are examples. They could give out IPs like Superman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern. Any of those characters can be given to those studios. Those characters can be given to those studios, and they can make a AAA game with them.
Yeah. Also, don't forget about the head creators who left Rocksteady. They're making their own AAA game company, and James Gunn did say that that some of the things that he was going to be that some of the games that potentially could happen in the DCU could also be made by them, and some of the characters that DC is kind of licensing out when it comes to characters.
I mean, the Batman Arkham IP was licensed out, right?
Yeah.
To Camouflage, right? Which is, and they've been working on that game since 2020.
Holy God.
So, considering the fact that the Batman Arkham IP isn't tarnished as we all thought it was, it's not. Because you got people like Nick Strapshill on Twitter basically saying that he's heard that Rocksteady's making another Batman game. It's like, yeah, I kind of believe it, because there's no way they go back on doing another IP.
Well, here's the thing too. If Rocksteady wants to prove that they deserve to exist now, because here's the thing: if this fails, then Rocksteady gets shut down. I guarantee you that is happening. So, for a project that it's the most guaranteed that maybe they could do it, a single player Batman game would probably be a safer bet.
Yes. Now the timeline of the Batman game is a big question mark. I think that obviously I'll be making a video on this. I think the safest bet is an Arkham Shadow sequel, right? I think that's the safest option. The best option is to reboot the franchise entirely, right? That's the best option for them. But I can see them going for the safest option. So that's just me. What do you think, Darkness, Under the Wind?
I've said this before, that if they do decide to like really go full in, if they do decide to make another Batman Arkham game, then I'll say this. I would say have it take place before the events of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and we get to see how Batman kind of came out of hiding. Because that's actually something that I was very interested in. Like, how did he come out of hiding? And don't give me that whole, oh, well, he was in the, well, if you look in the museum and he talks to Superman and, oh, Superman walks up to him and asks, hey, you want to come out? And he just so willingly comes out. Don't give me that. I want to know why he actually came out. What's the whole reason behind that?
There's one problem with that, Darkness. Let's say they do that. The number one complaint is going to be like, okay, so we appreciate that we got this, but we know how it ends. That's why I say the next game, if they do a Batman game, maybe it should be another a sequel to Suicide Squad, because if this game is good, then Suicide Squad becomes not the crappy ending, but just a bump in the road.
Yes.
I can see that.
And Hunter's asking, TeladiaPlays, they need to find a new voice actor for Batman. Do you mean Woke Insomniac? No, I don't mean Woke Insomniac. No, I don't mean Woke Insomniac. They're not woke, by the way. I don't know where you get that from. Whoever's told you that, they're dumb. They don't know what they're saying. Good God, stop with that James Gunn saying when it comes to gaming. That was marketing BS. Rocksteady has
Thank you, Master
You never
Sergeant.
know. You never know. You never know. Don't count it out completely yet. We'll see what happens once the DCU truly begins next year.
Assuming it lasts as the DCU, because I'm still not convinced it's going to last past Superman, but that's just me.
We'll see. We'll see.
Kevia's asking, I'm curious, how long will Wonder Woman game is going to show the Wonder Woman? Huh?
What does that mean?
Really?
I'm confused.
Yeah.
Kevia, reword that. Reword your question.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what you're asking, but Master Sergeant says no Darkness. I always know.
Hey, you never know. You never know, though. You never know. You got to give something a shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, that
Yeah.
came out wrong. Yeah, it came out wrong. Yeah,
Mhm.
it did, Tevye. You need to reword that. But I think, when it comes down to Rocksteady, I think the way that they should, I think reboot is the best option. Bring a new voice actor in. It doesn't need to be tied to Suicide Squad. They don't have that baggage of, oh, what about Kevin Conroy? And if they want to do a Beyond game, you can't really do a. If they wanted to do a Beyond game, you can't really do a Beyond game anyway because Kevin Conroy is Bruce Wayne. You really can't do that, and you're gonna have that struggle of, oh, who's gonna play Bruce Wayne, and then you'll have like the comparison video or whatnot. So instead of scrap that idea, reboot the franchise, reboot it, and you got yourself and will be you gives an opportunity or whatnot. It gives the opportunity for Rocksteady to show that, oh yeah, we've rebooted it, and this is what you're getting, a great Batman game, and it's not stale from the previous Arkham games. It's different, and it's an open world game. So that's what I think they should do. And Hunter, we're not going to talk. We talked about that yesterday on Jared's channel. So you know that we talked about it yesterday. So I'm not going to really answer that. And by the way, it's a gaming stream. If we're talking about gaming news, we're not talking about anything else. What I meant to say is, how long will it take for the developers of that Wonder Woman game to show gameplay? I think this is
I
better.
don't know.
Rewording my question.
Yeah, it is. I don't. It depends on how far along they are. That's the thing.
I mean, with that leak for that Wonder Woman game, though, it makes me think it's gonna come out next year. It makes me think.
But if that's coming out next year, they need to start promoting the crap out of that game right now.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you could do summer. You can compete with the Captain America Black Panther game, because that game's coming out next summer as well.
Oh,
you
yeah.
could arguably say Wonder Woman is a bigger IP than Captain America or Black Panther. So,
yeah, I know that, Jared. But what I'm saying is, if the fans want to get the expectations high, they put that as the release window and get that as your release window schedule, and show it off at the Game Awards. That's the most important thing. If you don't show anything at the Game Awards, people are going to ask questions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then if they don't show it at the Game Awards, then I'm going to start to be, I think that they've quietly canceled this game.
Maybe.
Because it could be they don't want Elseworlds games to compete with the games that they're going to make tying into James Gunn's universe.
Yeah.
Now, that could be just me pulling that on my ass. I was saying, based upon how WB has behaved with canceling Superman and Lois because they don't want competition with Superman, and now they're going very in depth into James Gunn's universe. I'm saying, and by the way, I'm not saying that this was a James Gunn decision. This is a WB decision. So I'm not trying to put all the blame onto him.
Yeah. Well, other people are going to say otherwise.
I know that. But the point is, I'm not doing that. It's just that's the way it's gonna it's that's the way I could see WB doing it, because WB is stupid enough to do that. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So I mean, WB's been in a pickle for such a long time now, to be fair. So
$9 billion underwritten. Oh God.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yep.
So we got a couple of questions. Well, a few questions, I should say. So as Master Sergeant says, make sure you do like the video, like the live stream, guys. Can we get 5 likes, guys, on the stream? That'd be appreciated for that. So make sure you guys do hit that like button.
Show the support, y'all.
Show that support, yeah. Tevye is asking that question. Speaking of DC games, that reminds me, do you think WB Montreal's rumors with that Superman game are true? Because I heard rumors before about a Superman game and never happened. Tevye, to answer your question, I've been told it's a Superman game from my source. And my source has actually told me that, it's still a Superman game in development. Now, what I believe I've also heard from another person is saying it's a developmental hell. That's another person saying that WB Montreal has been going through different problems.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is, because Superman's one of those games, one of those IPs where it's tough to get it right. I mean, arguably they did with the Superman Returns game, but they haven't really done anything since then. Hey, what's up, Real Talk?
Yo, what's up, RTP man? What's up? Now here's another question: is the multiverse's player base still strong? Yes, it is. It's strong because they've just added the Michael Keaton 1989 skin.
Yeah, yes, they have. I saw that. That's actually really cool.
So that is pretty cool that we are getting that. Hunter's asking if Marshall Ali drops out as Blade, I would like to see him John Jones as the Martian Manhunter. Okay, interesting.
That's actually a casting choice I could actually get behind.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I could see him playing John Jones. There you go. That actually works.
Yeah. Blazing Flame, welcome, my dude. Welcome. He says, hi, I just came. What are the new rumors regarding DC games, if any? So obviously, we've took a look at a new job posting for WB Games Montreal, as they are looking for a senior producer and creative director for their next game. And we don't know whether it's a DCU game or whatnot, but all we know is that it could be for that Superman game, which I think is possible. Which I think is most likely the case scenario. Oh, that makes me so happy. Yes. Real Talk says, I need a Superman game. Imagine one based in Superman and Lois world or Smallville.
I don't think you mean based in the location of Smallville. Well, actually, yeah. If they continue that story with in a gaming form, maybe, or if they did a sequel game to that, that could actually work.
What do you mean, Superman and Lois?
Yeah,
or Smallville.
No, a sequel game to Superman and Lois. I'm still convinced that animated series for Smallville is not going to happen. Because here's the problem with that. There's not enough of a big fan base for the show now, of the new people now, for them to justify making that show. Yeah.
So Tavia's got another question. Speaking of DC video games, I'm wondering if they'll do an Injustice 3. What do you guys think they should do, and what the roster do you think want for the Injustice 3? Here's the thing, Tavia. Ed Boon shut down the Injustice 3 rumors. That's the problem. That's the first problem. He hasn't come out and said, he hasn't come out and said, we're making Injustice 3 alongside MK1. He hasn't come out and said that. He's kind of shut it down in an interview. Hunter's asking or saying, TeladiaPlays, I would like to see in the new Superman game, based on a new Superman movie, hints at more villains.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Need that cancel Flash game.
Yeah.
Oh, Wally West Flash game.
That would be fun.
That would have been interesting.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
I think as well, considering WB is licensing out their IPs now, I can see a Flash game getting made by one of these developers outside of WB.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it happening. Even I said this yesterday on I remember what's it called? I told Jared about Green Lantern and the Mass Effect team making that. Right? I said that to him yesterday or the day before. I was like, Jared, imagine the Mass Effect team making a Green Lantern video game.
A Green Lantern game with Mass Effect elements. That has to be clear, because I don't trust BioWare to make a Mass Effect game. To make a Green Lantern game. I do not.
Yeah. Real Talk Production says, I mean, I don't know. Talkville is very popular. When Tom and Erica showed up in Crash, everyone lost their minds. But that was
but that's not enough for them to justify for WB to justify a series. You have to have more. You have to have more of a concentrated effort on Twitter or like social media for them to even greenlight that series. There's not enough of that
True. Blazing Flame, so you don't believe we're getting an Injustice 3. The last I remember, he told IGN the next game, and that is their pattern. No, the thing is, I think there's an issue there because WB were going through issues when it comes down to their DC licensing. That was the problem at the time. So I don't know if they're going to continue on doing Injustice games, and how can they do an Injustice game without Kevin Conroy? Because you've also got that problem there as well.
Yeah,
So,
that's the other thing that's kind of going on too. I mean, because like Kevin Conroy sadly passed away, so it's like, what's gonna happen now because of that factor if they do decide to actually continue though?
the only thing they'll do is recast, and I think a lot of people are just going to compare him to Kevin, and I think that's not fair.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. That's gonna be a bit of a pickle for Ed and everyone at NRS. Which, you know what? Hey, on one hand, you know, I'm gonna be sad if they don't do Injustice 3 because there's a lot of potential that there was from Injustice 2 that I was really like, because I was speculating a lot back then when there were Injustice 3 rumors coming out, like, oh, the possible Injustice 3 coming out. I was like, oh man, I mean, hey, you never know. If the Batman ending, if they do decide to make one of the endings canon, it's going to be the Batman ending. And I can see Superman, like, he obviously, the writing was on the wall. Superman was going to come back. He's going to cause some chaos. Batman's going to stop him. We're going to get a fight, yada, yada, yada.
Honestly, I don't want an Injustice 3.
Really?
Because Injustice as an IP has done the biggest damage to Superman and Wonder Woman as characters. The biggest, like, sustainable damage, because now people think that, like, that Superman is secretly a psychopath like Homelander, and the only person that keeps him from turning into a psychopath is Lois. And I'm like, that's objectively not true. Then it makes Wonder Woman a seductress who kind of corrupts Superman. So it's honestly, at this point, I would be fine if the universe didn't continue.
Wow.
Okay.
I get it. Because a lot of people do, and I get your point about how Superman is, like, when it comes to, like, being compared to Homelander, because a lot of people nowadays, especially, like, when it came to Zack's universe, no, not trying to throw shade on Zack Snyder, I love his movies, but especially because of how Superman is in the movies and in the game, like in the Injustice games, is that he's been characterized differently than how he normally is in the comics. Which is one of the things that I appreciate James Gunn doing, is that they're going back to the roots of making Superman who he was always meant to be. So,
the problem is, because here's the thing, here's the one thing that I have on that I'm like, here's why I'm 100% convinced that can work, because they whenever they have tried to lean fully hard into, like, that more classic look of Superman, the movie bombed.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't mean it's going to happen now. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it's a guarantee. I was saying it's a concern of mine. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely is
concern to do it.
Yeah, they're definitely. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, so we got a couple of other questions. Blazing Flame is saying, but WB Games Montreal have multiple teams. Yes, they do. What makes you think that they are hiring for the Superman game and not for another DC game? Shouldn't these roles be filled if the Superman game is in development? Yeah, that is true, but they haven't. Remember, the Gotham Knights team, the higher ups left the studio. Patrick Redding, Jeff Eleanor, Fleur Marty, all left the studio. So there is that question of, like, what game is the studio looking for? Really, is it going to be for the Superman game? Is it going to be for the second game that WB Montreal is working on? That is the team that worked on Gotham Knights. We don't know, right? So only time will tell for that. Tavia is asking questions. Speaking of DC games, I'm just wondering if we got a DC versus Capcom fighting game similar to Marvel versus Capcom. Marvel versus Capcom. How do you guys feel if they do that? Do it. I don't think they'll do that, Tavia. I don't think they'll do a Capcom versus DC video game.
I don't know. I at this point, when it comes to gaming, like when it comes to like gaming stuff, gaming announcement events for DC, I'm just like, if you're ready, do it. Just do it when you're ready.
Well, at least here's what you have to do. At least announce the Wonder Woman voice actress. Give us something at this point. I will take the scraps from a bird's mouth at this point for this freaking game.
Yeah. You just like,
I think
give it to
me. Exactly. I'm like, at this, just give me, because we know next to nothing about this. And it's coming out next year. That is very concerning.
I think as well, like, the thing is, we can't expect a DC versus Capcom game because DC is owned by Warner Brothers. Marvel is technically owned by, Marvel is Disney, and also Capcom as well has done licensing with them, so there'll be an issue with that there as well. Master Sergeant says, I don't think a good Green Lantern game is anywhere possible without a Superman game to base it on.
True.
Yeah.
So, and Zeke says, Deceased or DC versus Vampires could be fun. Yeah.
For a game, because with Deceased, you could do like the way they do it in Call of Duty Zombies, except every like 10th round is like a boss. We have to fight a deceased version of the Justice League.
Question: besides Injustice as a whole, do you think a DC should make a fighting video game outside of Injustice? There is one. It's called Multiverses.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
RTP says, well, Gunn said after hiring Aaron Piera, all live action characters will be the voice of the game.
Exactly. And that's why I don't think the Wonder Woman game is going to be in there, because then you would have to recast the Wonder Woman actress, re-record all the lines, plus not only her, you then have to do Cheetah. They already have a voice actress for Cersei, and Cersei's going to be in the Wonder Woman game.
Yes, Cersei's going to be in the Wonder Woman
game.
Did
you would need to have her re-record all of Cersei's lines too.
Did you know that Darkness Under the Wind about Cersei being a part of the Wonder Woman game?
I heard a little thing about it, like very small. Like when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, cool. Okay, so we got the villain of it. Cool. Okay, I like that. But where's the main voice actress?
I know. See, Darkness, there's one character that they haven't given us the voice actress for. I'm pretty sure she's a very important like part of this game. Her name is Wonder Woman.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
RTP says, I agree with Jared. No more Injustice. If they do it, go animated.
Do like an animated movie. Well, I think that they shouldn't do any more content on Injustice, period. For live action comics, whatever. End the universe.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this, though. I don't want another Injustice animated movie. Please, God, no. Don't.
So here's the thing. That movie is a better representation of DC than the Injustice games, because at least Wonder Woman acts consistently.
Yeah, I know, but you have Nightwing dying from a stick to the head.
That's what he does. No,
that's what it says.
In the comic, he died. Well, it was more falling onto a rock, but it was still caused by the stick. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there was no rock in this one. It just stick to the head. Ping! Dead right there. Like, you could have always had the rocket.
Well, it's also how like mature could they go with that, though?
Mind you, it was written by Tom Taylor, so.
Well, that kind of explains it.
Hunter, yes, I saw your comment. Here's my casting for Flash, Jack Quaid.
Not
Superman.
I would. Can we all just forget that My Adventures with Superman ever happened? That would be nice.
No, Jared, it happens. Deal with it. Question: speaking of DC video games, I'm curious, what other characters do you guys? What other team do you want for them to make? For me, I would like a Justice League game.
After Suicide, take a break from team-based games right now.
Yeah, take a break from team-based games. I think you need to focus. I think solo-based characters needs to be made on a basis. So you need to have Superman, you need to have the Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern. Focus on those characters, IPs, and then once you build that foundation, then build up onto a Justice League game. Who would I want to? Who would I want to make a Justice League game though? I think it should be not in-house. I would not want to do on an in-house studio. I think it should be outsourced for that Justice League game. That's my take on that. What do you guys think?
Do
you guys think they should outsource a Justice League game instead of it being in-house?
Well, which studio has done a good team game?
Team-based. If you're thinking about it.
Because I'm like, so far the only real big team game that would translate well is like Crystal Dynamics, because they did Avengers, but even that game didn't perform well.
Oh yeah, no, that
Eidos Montreal
bombed hard, dude.
Eidos Montreal.
What'd they do?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. That would work. That 100%, because that Guardians game is a delight.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, all right. It is good.
Blazing Flame is asking, so do you guys think NetherRealm is only going to do Mortal Kombat from now on? To be honest with you, I don't know. I'll be brutally honest with you. I don't know if NetherRealm is going to do only Mortal Kombat, because the thing is, yes, NetherRealm have said, they're doing a year 2 for MK1. We don't know whether the next game is going to be announced. Could be 2026, could be 2027, could be 2028. Could be one of those years.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, on the other hand, though, if it's true that NetherRealm and Ed Boon are moving away from the Injustice games and from that universe entirely, then we may get the next Mortal Kombat game, Mortal Kombat 2, if that is going to be the title of it, a lot sooner.
Or they could do a Mortal Kombat versus DC reboot and reboot the whole thing.
Probably, but it's like because of like the current reboot right now with what's happened with Mortal Kombat, I don't think Ed Boon would want to take that risk, especially because they've rebooted so many times in the franchise. They want to take away.
No, you're not getting what I mean, because they've done Mortal Kombat versus DC before, right?
Yeah.
And if you consider it's canon to the Injustice games, so this could be a launching point for them to say, okay, well, we're rebooting. We don't need to tell how the universe got rebooted, right? Because it's all done through MK1, basically, right?
Yeah.
So if they do it through that and say, look, okay, so these characters are coming back, and these are the characters you get to play as, and then for the DC characters, you bring back, let's say Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Flash, right? But at the beginning of the game, you see the Flash running back in time and trying to save Lois, so to say, and stop the mayhem, and it changes the whole landscape of the Injustice universe. And Darkseid comes.
So wait, Injustice Flashpoint is what it is now?
Yeah, Injustice Flashpoint, basically. Yeah.
But with Mortal Kombat added.
With Mortal Kombat added, yeah. Basically.
Can we make it an M-rated game where you could actually like murder these characters?
I mean, hey, you never know.
You never know, dude.
Could they redeem Injustice Universe? Maybe.
Here's how they can do that, by wiping it out.
That is very cherry picking way of looking at it, Jared.
In terms of what? What are you talking about, Pika?
Fun fact: Tom Taylor didn't write Injustice animated movie. It was someone else who wrote that movie.
Okay.
Oh.
Blazing Flame says, "Do you think we'll get a new DC MMO besides DC Universe Online?"
No, because I think that's performing well enough that they don't need to like screw with that.
Yeah, they don't need to. How about people who Marvel Ultimate Alliance, because those games were fantastic? Those guys won't make a DC game. I'll be honest with you.
Well, they're all. Isn't that Raven Studios?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, they're doing Warhammer Space Marine content right now.
Yeah, so they'll be busy.
Okay.
More DC mobile games. Yes.
No.
Yeah, it's true though. Zeke is right. We're gonna get DC mobile games.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
Do you guys think the Legion of Superheroes video game could be good?
I think it'll be good. They're not going to do it because, again, they're not going to make games on characters that the general audience doesn't know who they are. No one knows who the Legions is. By no one, I mean no one that would actually make this game as successful as the companies want.
Yeah. Blazing Flames asking, do you guys think NetherRealm will make a Marvel fighting game, or do you guys think that TT Games will make a new Lego Marvel game? What I've been told, it's not a Marvel game from TT Games. TT Games is not a Marvel game, the next project. I can tell you that as a fact, Blazing Flame. In terms of NRS making the Marvel fighting game, I know it was talked about, but it's never came fruition. TeladiaPlays. What about Mortal Kombat versus Marvel if WB Games sells NetherRealm? They're not going to sell NetherRealm. If licensing out, that's a different story. Not sale. Sale and licensing are two different things, guys. Two different entities. Sell meaning you're selling off the part of the company. Licensing is that you're licensing out the IP. The people who want to make the game, they have to pay that fee in order for you to make the game for you. Case in point, if you want to make a Superman game, you have to license. You speak to the people who own the IP. You pay X amount of money, and then they make the game. Takes about 4 years, and then it's a 50-50 split. So that's the way it works. Pika says Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe was always non-canon game. They could do it again as a non-canon one-shot that ignores everything. Maybe.
I mean, you never know.
Could they make a convergent fighting game which technically had Injustice in it for 2 seconds? No convergence. No convergence.
Don't do anything that's to do with conversions.
We're not messing with convergence, Tevia. Cherry picking way of looking at Injustice animated movie.
Oh yeah, sure, but I'm just saying they handle a lot of those characters better than the games and or comics did.
Oh, he says, oh, and I'm trying to forget that someone's adventure with Superman happened.
Mm-hmm. We're all trying to forget about that. We're all trying to forget about that.
Do you think TT Games will make a Marvel game after the next game releases, or it never happened? I don't know. All I know is that TT Games' next game, it won't be a Marvel game. That's all I know. Right? That's from what I've been told. So, but in terms of DC video game, because we gotta talk about this, because this stream is about the DC game. We're not talking about Marvel. We're talking about the DC game space.
We're talking about DC, the top dog when it comes to superhero genre, baby. Marvel about to be in the slums next year. No, I'm just kidding.
They might be. Let's face it, they might be.
Yeah,
when you think about it,
depends on what happens with
Captain
America breaking the world.
When you think about it, guys, I think that DC video games could come back. They could come out crawling back, and they could overtake Marvel in the video game space. And I believe not only because of the Wonder Woman game, but you've got WB Montreal's game, and you've got Rocksteady's Batman game to save them, right? If you have those particular IPs come fruition, you've got yourself a winner universe there. DC has got themselves back into the gaming as top dog in the gaming space.
Well,
right?
Yeah. Well, here's where I will say real quick, and take this as you will. I highly doubt what I'm gonna say is gonna happen, but it's kind of worth a shot. Kind of like with what you were saying actually about like make a Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman game, but completely different universe, start from scratch, not under Rocksteady, just a completely different universe, and then you build up to a Justice League game. What if through that you make a like video game cinematic universe-esque kind of universe. What I mean is
Oh,
like,
I know what you're talking about. Something
Yeah.
like what Insomniac is doing with their video games when they're doing like they got the Spider-Man games out the way, now they got Wolverine coming
Yeah.
out, then they've
And then-
got X-Men and so on and so
Yeah.
forth. Yeah.
X-Men in 2030, which please let it be on PS5. Please let it be on PS5. It's on PS6. I'm gonna cry.
It's gonna be on PS6, I'll tell you that now.
It probably will.
It probably will, because you know what? After the whole situation with Insomniac, I wouldn't be surprised if they push those games back even further
Oh God,
because
no.
of the hack. I'm
Oh.
just putting that out there.
No. You wanted to be at 5, damn it. No.
Blazing Flame, to be honest with you, I would be surprised if they make a new Lego DC game. It's a
That would
mystery.
actually be wild.
That would be really wild. And it takes place after the events of Lego DC supervillains. That I'll take that. I would take that.
Yeah,
I would take
I
that.
actually really like Lego DC supervillains.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, I really do want there to be some kind of after.
I created my own Kingdom Come Superman.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I made that.
I made Homelander in that game.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Daniel's asking, WB Games should remake DC Heroes to modern systems. Yes, that I would love that. I would love a modern DC Heroes video game.
That'd actually be pretty cool.
Because that's actually a really fun game.
Yeah, it is. Zeke is saying 5 million players that Doom event. Imagine a DC event. 10 million players.
Oh,
Yeah,
Double
that would be great.
double that, right?
That may actually convince me to play Fortnite.
And then Jared will be on that Fortnite obsession. I mean, he just got the comic of Fortnite, by the way, guys. Just to let
I
you
got
guys
the
know.
DC and Marvel comics. They're not that bad,
Oh.
actually. They're really good.
Oh, wow.
He actually recently got that. Tevye says, I'm surprised we haven't got another Lego DC video game considering Lego DC Super. Yep. Yeah, I just said that, Tevye. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would make it takes two like game, but with Superman and Wonder Woman. Jared, you see this comment?
I know Daniel's saying that, and I agree.
Can you imagine it?
It would actually be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It would be pretty cool if done right, obviously.
If done right, yeah.
Because that's the problem with DC is that they have some good ideas, but the execution is very off.
Yeah.
Guys, if you want to put some super chats in, make sure you guys, if you put super chats in, your questions will be answered much faster than me going through the questions. Your super chats will be answered first. So just putting that out there for you guys. Do you guys think Discovery will sell some or even at all of their WB Game Studios, or do you think they'll keep them? They're keeping them. They're licensing out their IPs.
Yeah, it's just licensing out, because here's what I think is going to happen, because of this move, especially because of the problems that have been going on with DC gaming. Like I know we put the jab a lot here on Rocksteady. I know we put that we grab out the stick and we just keep beating Rocksteady with it, because shame on them for what they did earlier this year. But on all seriousness, though, I mean, it is a good choice of what they're doing. I mean, especially because if they want to make another something Batman related, they can like give it to another studio who hasn't made something that's like bad or mid, to say the least. Like Batman Gotham Knights, that was actually kind of mid, if I'm going to be honest with you. And same thing, like I said again, with what Rocksteady did this year. So, I mean, it is kind of like a good choice of them kind of licensing things out, because it gives studios the chance to give them an opportunity to give their idea, their input on things, and for them to kind of, in a way, redeem the gaming interpretations of characters that have been subjected to bad writing or mediocre. To say the least.
True. Yeah. Pika says, "Oh no, James Gunn making his Superman wear Fortnite skin in his Superman costume was planned to lure people like Jared in. It was a Gunn's plan from the very beginning.
And I fell for it.
James Gunn with those manipulation tactics.
That is like 8D chess right there.
Yeah.
Tev is asking questions. Speaking of DC video games, what other game genre and your character would you like to choose? Because for me, I really like Constantine Hellblazer game, which is horror genre.
Oh, a Constantine game would slap, bro. If done
Yes.
right, that would slap.
I remember there was a Constantine
You gotta
video game
make
back
an
then.
M-rated game.
Oh yeah, no, that's gotta be M-rated. That's gotta be Constantine sitting in a bar drunk, like, mate, I gotta go out here. Gotta open a portal here. And save
There's like blood coming out
And he does
everywhere.
this-
Yeah, exactly.
And he does this. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like,
Yeah.
It's the Keanu Reeves has to be a skin,
yeah, Keanu Reeves. has
Yeah,
to be a
that would
skin.
be
and
awesome.
the caption of the skin has to be "I know kung fu."
Zeke saying Telltale game. Oh, that'd be interesting.
Batman Telltale Season 3, please. Telltale Season 3, I am begging you. Please. Please.
Are they still
From what I've
making
been
Telltale
told,
games?
From what I've been told is that that's on the back burner currently, right?
Okay.
Because they're trying to get the Wolf Among Us Season 2 out. But I think that's been cancelled. I think that's been cancelled, to be honest with you.
If Wolf Among Us Season 2 is canceled, then that's gonna be a little concerning on Telltale's part.
Yeah.
Very, I should say.
Daniel's saying Disney have now a partnership with Epic Games for to release Marvel content and stuff within Fortnite, but DC as usual are behind. Question: what about Hogwarts Legacy type of game for DC Comics universe where you can create your own character live in the DC universe? That's what DC Universe Online is.
That's actually what that game is.
DC Universe Online is that basically, Tevia. Blazing Flame. Reason I asked this is because according to rumors, Discovery wants to offset some assets and lower WB's debt, and that they were exploring to selling off their studios. So just write off some of that rumor, right? Yeah, I would write that rumor off because in an earnings call they were talking about licensing out their IPs. They weren't even talking about selling the studios.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, in the earnings call, they would say, "Look, we're selling off their studios," you know, and it would have been all over. Like Kind of Funny would have reported on it, and a few others would have reported on it as well. And I haven't seen anybody else report on what you've said in the chat. Nobody else has really reported on that of them selling off the studios.
Oh,
Yeah.
random YouTubers have talked about that.
Random YouTubers.
That's the
yes.
problem. When you see a lot of these rumors, they can all be traced to one random YouTuber trying to go for clicks.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A lot of them are trying to get some of that clickbait energy, attention, all that crap.
Yeah. So, because we're going up to an hour, we're gonna guys put your last comment in the questions in the comment section, and also let me know if you're watching this as a VOD, let me know your thoughts on the DC gaming space. What do you guys feel about the Wonder Woman game, the rumored Superman game, and also what do you guys think about Batman Arkham? What era of the Arkham game should be? Should it be in the future? Should it be in the past? Or should it be a reboot? Sign off in the comment section for that. We hear your thoughts about that. And also, if you guys want to put super chats, feel free to put super chats in because they actually do help experimentally. Question: speaking of DC games, I'm curious something that would Blackest. No, Tevia, they're not going to do a Blackest Night.
That requires much setup. They're not going to do that.
They're not going to do a Blackest
As
Night.
awesome as that would be, they're not going to do that.
They're not going to do that.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think, Darkness?
Well, I mean, I'll say this. When it comes to a lot of games that are rumored right now and that they have coming up, I will say that regardless of whether they do more games in Rocksteady, whether they do it in WB Games Montreal, whether they do it in like whether WB Games Montreal. I'm sorry.
Monolith.
Oh, Monolith. That's true. Or some other company, and they decided, you know what, we're gonna start from scratch and make our own. And this is just my opinion, but like I said, Maybe they make a video game cinematic universe, starting with Superman and then building up to a Justice League game. Then they kind of continue introducing more characters, like Constantine, like was mentioned in the comments. Then you could introduce Green Arrow. You could introduce Zatanna. You could introduce Hawkman. You could like etc. There are so many characters that you could make a video game on, if obviously done right, and if they really want to, like was said, if some of these characters that made video games on get bought, so to speak, or get a lot of attention to it. So that's the other risk at the same time. But at the same time, though, it's a risk that I would kind of want to get behind, especially building up to a Justice League game and beyond, of if they have like a epic big bad like Darkseid, for example, or Brainiac, or, and I'm not talking about the trash Brainiac from Rocksteady that Rocksteady did. Oh boy. Oh, that design was horrible.
Be careful what you ask for, Darkness, when you say I want a Brainiac game. Oh, we got one.
Yeah. Well, no, not a Brainiac game, but him as the big bad.
Actually, a Brainiac game would actually be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. But don't make him look like crap like you did in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Oh boy, that design is horrible. But like, if that makes sense though, like a video game cinematic universe, if they want to go that route, because it makes people invested, like, ooh, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? Oh boy. So like it makes like you want to build that anticipation. So that's what I could see, but may not happen. But it's definitely a shot in the dark that is definitely worth a shot. Yeah. More like the definitely more worth than what AEW's Tony Khan is doing. So
yeah. Daniel says, I think that Wonder Woman game, it will become the next StarCraft Ghost 3. 3 years of development, we haven't seen a single screenshot. Yeah, but the leak, Daniel, there's that big leak, man. That's that big leak, and that happened 4 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago, and people are still talking about it. So there's that. Yeah. Who do you think will license their IPs to? Or when do you think we'll see the fruits of those licensed off IPs to external studios and publishers? Do you think in 2025 and beyond we'll see developers and publishers deals? I'll be honest with you, I think beyond 2025 you'll see games for other studios. Like, for example, the Arkham Shadow, that was licensed. That was a licensed IP. That wasn't even in-house. WB doesn't own Camouflage. So there's a prime example. And they've been working on this game for 4 years, from 2020, as a VR game. So I'm just saying, that's a really good example of when a licensed IP does work, which is Batman Arkham Shadow. So I'll say that. What's up, Blazing? Brown Destroyer. Blazing Flame says, Teladia, have you heard anything about when the Superman game will be announced? Any predictions? The only thing I've heard is 2025 and beyond. That's what I've heard. If anything, at the end of 2025, maybe 2026 at the earliest.
Yeah, I mean, the Superman game, I mean, it's been so long since we've had a Superman game. It's just like the one thing I will say, though, about this Superman game, the character of Superman, I will say, is being revived because DC is like fully making him the face of the brand again, which I do appreciate, even though it's always going to be Batman. At the same time, though, Superman did start it off, which I get, and I respect that. So I appreciate that there is a lot of attention being driven back into this character, into the character of Superman. So I really do appreciate that, and I just hope that, like, if James Gunn's Superman movie is a hit, then I just hope that if we do get more Superman, not just when it comes to movies, but also when it comes to like games, like this potential Superman game. If this does happen, I really hope that they nail it and they do it in a way to where Superman isn't like super powerful, where like, oh, he's invincible, but but like he, but
Yeah.
like yeah, like
So
it's kind of hard to explain it, but like
yeah, no,
I
get.
just hope the Superman game is good.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna answer a couple of more of your questions. So please put your final questions in the chat because I'm wrapping up after this. Right. So
Alrighty.
yeah. Claudia, what is your what if question? If Microsoft buys NetherRealm for $30 billion, WB will only be $50 million.
They're not going to
Yeah.
spend $30 billion on NetherRealm.
They're not going to do that.
No, that is ridiculous.
Have you
They're
heard
not going to
any-
go on that spending spree right now, especially with what's going on right now. Just
Microsoft
now
won't
is
do
the
it.
worst time to do it, especially.
Microsoft
Mhm.
won't do it. Have you heard anything about Green Lantern game in development? Nope. And do you think it will happen? Yes, I do think it will happen. And who do you think will make it? I don't know who will, but it'll be. I think it'll be outsourced on that. Master Sergeant says I'm out. It's 11 o'clock his time. He's telling me to go to bed. Yeah, I'll go to bed soon. Don't worry. Okay, so we've got a couple of questions. Final questions, right? Speaking of that Superman game, if it's in development, does this mean that the game will be pushed to another developer, or just because that has happened sadly? No, I still think it'll be at WB Montreal. I don't think it'll be pushed to another developer. Do you think developers or publisher will announce that they're partnered with WB to make a DC game, just like, for example, the EA announced Marvel deal? It's hard to say. It's really hard to say on that because I don't, because we don't know what WB is like when they're saying announcing deals like that. It's not like Marvel games. They don't have like a separate entity where it's called Marvel Games. It's not like that. They have it's called WB Games. It's not like Marvel Games where it's separate and they have their own thing. It's not like that. So you don't. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Blazing Flame on that. Final question from Tevia, and then we'll have a final question from Blazing Flame. Final question: if Warner Brothers license our DC character to people who want to make Black Myth Wukong, do you think it'd be really good or bad? I think it'd be pretty good.
Depends on the character.
It depends on the character as well. It depends on which type of character. I would say a Black Canary. That would actually work as a Black Myth Wukong video game type of style.
That actually sounds very interesting.
That would actually be cool. Do you think WB Discovery will sold to Comcast or Universal or to other companies? They're not selling. I don't know why people are saying they're gonna sell. They're not selling yet. They're in debt. So much debt that nobody's gonna buy them. That's the problem, guys. Whoever's telling you that they're gonna sell and they're gonna sell like within the next year, they don't know what they're saying, because if they were gonna sell the company, we would have had like news on it.
It's just stuff coming out of these people's mouths just so they can grab attention. That's all it is. It's not like they don't have actual sources. It's just bitter people about something that they didn't want, and now they're just kind of like making it BS so they can stay relevant.
Yeah. So with that being said, I think that's a good way to wrap up, guys. Oh, we got one last question. Fine. Last question. Do you think we will get a new DC fight game or no? I think
we answered that question earlier in the stream, though.
Yeah, we did answer that question earlier in the stream.
Yeah.
I think we will, but only time will tell.
But it might not be in the form of the.
I never said that, Daniel. I never said that. Okay. I never said only Western will respect.
Okay. So, with that being said, guys, make sure you like the stream, share this with your friends, let them know that to subscribe to TeladiaPlays. Make sure you check out Darkness on the Wind on Twitter, and also check out Jared from Comically at ComicallyJT.
I also got a YouTube channel, so don't.
Oh yeah, so he's got a YouTube channel, so make sure you check him out on YouTube.
Just type in my name anywhere on YouTube, and it'll come up like that.
Okay, cool. Jared, what you got coming up on your channel, man? Let them know.
Well, we got the Comics League Dark News show tonight, and for Bad Movie Night, tomorrow we're gonna be talking about Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh God.
I thank you, Darkness.
I'm sorry. That's so sorry.
Yeah, we were intentionally trying to find bad movies. So obviously, Britt and I are going to talk about Hal Jordan and Carol Ferris, and then besides that, not that much.
All right, cool. So on that note, Lois Lane is Lois Lane, but she belongs with General Zod.
Thank you.
Zoe is a maxi bat for life, and the Alien Queen.
Yeah, she's not bad. The circles, that's not bad. I like that.
Yeah, I know.
So-
I know. This actually was pretty cool.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys on the next exciting Teladia Plays live stream.
It's like
Peace out, everyone.
Brainiac's symbol, literally. Like,
Ah, there you go.
Yeah,
There you
Brainiac
go.
says goodbye, guys. Peace.